In celebrating United Way's 90 years of service to the people of Licking County, it seemed fitting to get the perspective of some of the key players of the recent past. Here are their reflections.
So it's about 67 years that I've been involved with United Way. My first year here in '57, I helped raise funds at the Advocate where I was employed. And that word got out, and the next year I'm calling on the merchants on the square, raising money. A couple of years later, Howard Lefevre, who was chairman of the campaign that year, and we were in a deep recession, and we really worked. I mean, we worked hard. We didn't get to the goal, but that was my first exposure with a campaign. And then later on, I worked with United Way, but I think it was in the late 60s, early 70s, I was the campaign chairman. And we had, our executive director had just come from South Bend, Indiana. He'd been the assistant there and took over. And we were raising $400 and some thousand. But he wanted to get to $500,000. So he came up with this concept of roaring past 500. And we used the Indianapolis racing car. And we did, we made it. We got over 500.
The United Way has made a huge impact in this community. We live in a county, Licking County is so generous with the people and money. And we have a lot of good people who like to get involved. And when something is in need to be done in Licking County, Newark, Ohio, it gets done because of the people we have involved. And that's one of the great things about United Way. I think the Live United slogan fits us very well because it gets a lot of people involved. And when you think about the number of agencies that can be contacted and tended to through one contribution from individuals without having to go out and make all these separate campaigns, it benefits the community in total. With all the agencies that are supported by United Way, there are a lot of good things that have been done for a lot of people right here in Licking County.
When I think back about the impact that United Way has made on the community, as I said, I came in '76. And when I came here, I heard the buzz about United Way, if you will. I realized it was a very important organization in Licking County that supported all of our nonprofit organizations. As I mentioned, I got involved as a volunteer and went on to become the executive director. During the time I was executive director, it was quite different than it is now. We raised money for member organizations. That means you had to have been selected as an organization, and then you would come and make a presentation and how much money you needed. And so we helped to supplement their organizations for services and their general administrative budget. So it's quite different than it is now. But that impact at that point in time, it was very important for them to have that extra money. Without that, so many of them would not have been able to provide the service that they needed, and even today they might not even exist today. But what I've seen happen over the years after I've left United Way and watched how it's grown and what's happened is we're making an even bigger impact now. I think that what we've done is we have greater needs in our community, and so what we've needed to do is find out what those needs are. Where are they? What do we need? And so we do surveys to find out where we need the transportation or the lunches for the kids or just whatever it might be to help out the homeless, whatever it might be. And it's much different now. We don't have member agencies. We have more programs, causes, things like that we respond to. And I think that's a much better way to look at how we're going to help our community and the quality of life in our community. So I think it's making a great impact now. A lot before, but even greater impact now.
I think about the changes that we've made. I remember back in 1957, our headquarters was in the Upson Mansion, which used to sit at the corner of 4th and Locust Street. I enjoyed most of the campaigns. Getting a campaign organization together, setting goals, and then going out and meeting those goals. And getting the right people to be on the leadership in the different areas, the different divisions of the campaign. I think that was the most exciting part of being part of United Way.
What I enjoyed most in my work with the United Way was the camaraderie and the number of individuals in the community who were willing to give their time to ensure that other members of the community could have a better quality of life, and actually to see those things come to be. It seems like the work that you did had an end result, and it's continuing to grow, but I enjoy the fact that we could do those kind of things.
The United Way, I think, speaks for itself. It is the United Way. The motto of living united certainly fits with what we're doing. We're all in part of this community. We're all together. We're one big family, if I can use that cliche. But it's up to all of us to step in and solve our own problems. And I think that's what we do by getting together and being united. The thing about United Way is not a lot of services are duplicated. Should be none that are duplicated. And it allows us to go in the most efficient manner and help people to better themselves, better their families, help them in troubled times, and just make this a better place to live for all of us.
As you look at the list of agencies that United Way supports or have been supporting over the years, you will find so many different services at different levels of things. You know, for an example, Camp O'Bannon. If you've never visited Camp O'Bannon, you should take a moment to go out there and just see what it offers to the people and the campers. It's such a beautiful location, and it certainly does have a lot going on in a very small little area. It's just east of Newark, and it's a wonderful drive, and they do have wonderful ballparks. I know with my experience of Camp O'Bannon as a counselor years ago, I have found it to be a place where everybody comes together as friends and family helping each other. And that's one of the agencies that United Way provides funding for. Mental Health of America is another agency that certainly we need now more than ever. When you look at the scouting programs and you say to yourself, what a wonderful, exciting thing that, you know, United Way is also helping them. You know, we live in a world of challenges. However, we are blessed. We're blessed to have family and friends and God's guidance to lead us when we need to help others. Because what is it all about but not if it's not for helping others in our county, in our communities, in our neighborhoods?
Well, 90 years is a long time for any organization. When you think about major corporations don't exist for 90 years in many cases. Things come and things go as things change. And when you see the same organization being around for 90 years and still succeeding and still doing a good job, to me that says it's a worthwhile organization. It must be doing something right to survive that long, because there's a lot of that come in and go. There's also a lot of organizations that come in and they have a short-term goal. They have, let's get this problem, this situation this year. But to come in every year and kind of renew, what do we need this year, and kind of revamp and reorganize what's going to go on. I think that keeps us up to date with what's going on, and I think United Way does that.
When I look at 90 years, well, I guess I only had 30 years to be a part of that 90 years, but that's a long time, and it's grown and changed and tried to keep up with the demands. That's a long time, and I would like to, if I'm fortunate enough, to see it grow and help more people.
We've come a long way, and we're still a very strong organization in this community. So United Way of Licking County, happy anniversary.
Well, happy birthday, United Way. Back when I was involved, it was United Appeal. So the name has changed, and the growth has been phenomenal. And I hope it continues way beyond the 90th anniversary on into the next century.